Travis Green has been actively trying to place the right players in the top 6 to build a more consistent 5-on-5 offense, and this player may be on his last chance to prove himself. Hello everyone, I am Eoghan Drumm, and welcome back to Senators Digest, where we talk all things Ottawa Senators. Today we'll be getting into one of the players on the roster who has a lot of questions looming around him this upcoming season, and what the future may hold for him as an Ottawa Senator, and, if things don't go as planned, could be out on his way out. We'll get into that very shortly, but before we do, please go down and hit that subscribe button. It is 100% free, and it allows you to stay updated with all of the latest Senators news and rumors. So if you are an Ottawa Senators fan, or even just a fan of the league, this is the place for you. So please go down and hit that subscribe button. So the player I am describing, who is, hasn't exactly been proving himself since being an Ottawa Senator, well, that is Fabian Zetterlund. So Fabian Zetterlund is entering his second full season. He was acquired at the 2025 trade deadline from the San Jose Sharks, and he is someone, when they acquired him, that he was expected to provide some helpful offense for them. The Sens, like we've reiterated in almost every video, they struggle to get 5-on-5 offense, and Zetterlund was someone who was supposed to provide something to help them out. Well, since that trade, it really hasn't gone his way, as he has seen the majority of his play on the fourth line. Really not the player he is meant to be. He's supposed to be someone in the top 6, but to this point, he hasn't proved himself to be a consistent player on that top 6. So let's just revisit the trade that did occur at that trade in the 2025 trade deadline. So the Senators acquired Fabian Zetterlund, Tristan Robbins, and a 2025 fourth round pick in exchange for Noah Gregor, Zach Ostapchuk, who was, he was considered a highly touted prospect for the Senators. He had some opportunity and didn't exactly perform at the highest level. But he is a player who is, he had some time last year at San Jose, so he's slowly getting on the rise, and a 2025 second round pick as well. And that is to the San Jose Sharks. So he was acquired right before they made the playoffs in 2025 against the Leafs, and right off the bat, he was someone who was given opportunity on the first line with Stützle and Tkachuk. But like I said, he never found his groove, and he still hasn't found his groove. I wouldn't say I haven't watched that many games where I've really noticed Zetterlund at a high level. He's always just kind of blended into play. He just isn't that, I don't know, maybe it's just his aggression. He's just not aggressive enough, or he just doesn't fit with the players. He just couldn't build chemistry with Tkachuk and Stützle. I don't really know what the whole problem is, but it's never flowed with Zetterlund on the top line. Let's just take a look quickly at his stats from a year ago and his stats from his entire career. So last year he had 33 points, 17 goals, 16 assists. It's not bad. It's still solid. Like 17 goals is still, he's almost at 20 goals, which is still very good, obviously. But again, you still kind of expect more. He was expected to be more of an impactful guy. Only 16 assists. He's not contributing much in the playmaking game at all. And maybe that'll change this year. Let's look at his career stats with San Jose. He had that one year where he had 44 points, 24 goals, and 20 assists. That was the Zetterlund that everyone thought the Senators would be getting. The next season, he played well. However, a lot of these numbers were from the Sharks days. Played 84 games, so he played 2 more games than the actual NHL season, but that's because he played more games at San Jose, and then he got traded to Sens, though. So those numbers are a little skyrocketed, but he's had 2 40-point seasons and 1 season over 24 goals, so he is capable of scoring that many goals. But I don't know, it's just something with the Senators. He hasn't been able to find that production. Take a look more at the analytics side. So he is just a plus 0.1 offensive rating. That's from a year ago, and this is comparable to other players in his positioning. It's not great. It's just very mediocre. It's nothing to write home about. It's just like that's just basically the numbers you'll see from a player who will blend in the game, and that is exactly what Zetterlund has been the past year. Just not a big threat offensively. Defensively, he's fine. He's nothing crazy. He'll do his job, but he's not going to do anything to, blow you out of the water or anything. He's been playing a lot of fourth line minutes, and if you're playing on the fourth line, you are going to need some higher defensive ability as well, and physicality. He's not a very physical player either. I think that's another reason why he hasn't been able to thrive in higher roles. Just when it comes to forechecking, he has never fit in with the forechecking plan that Travis Green likes his team to play. There is potential for this to turn around this year. Potential. I'm not saying it's going to be 100% because I'm not certain on that at all. But the Sens did acquire his forward teammate from San Jose, who he had a good amount of success with, a teammate he played with when he scored those 24 goals, and that's William Eklund. They're two Swedes. They are, around the same age. Zetterlund's a little older, but they're very close friends. And a lot of people think that, having Eklund on the first line may create a spark in him. It may just find that game that he's looking for, and that chemistry that they had in San Jose might come back with the Senators, and then that would make life easier for Travis Green, and then Tim Stützle on that first line as well. If the two wingers are able to connect, that would get Stützle more involved, because Stützle, I think he's a player who can adapt to really anyone. It's more the players around him that have to adapt to him. Stützle plays a very unique type of game. He's very flashy, likes to make some very interesting passes at times, but very effective passes as well. It's about his wingers being there at the right time. So if the two wingers can get on the same page and then work with Stützle, that would be the ideal scenario. I think at this point, the way the roster is built, Zetterlund on the first line would be exceptional. And then you have that Batherson and Cozens connection again. Those are two players that have shown great chemistry together. It all started at the World Championships a few years ago, and they've been playing really well together. Those two players. So, there's a lot still to uncover with this roster, the top six. But Zetterlund is someone who has to prove himself because he is still making a decent amount of money, $4.275 million. That's not exactly what you want to be paying for a fourth line left or right winger. He's not that big of a guy, 5'11". He's 220 pounds, so he's more buff for sure, so he can lay hits and he has the body to be physical, but that's just not the game he plays. And I'm sorry, but if Zetterlund isn't able to adapt on this first line again, I feel like you have to explore trade options. He's not someone who's going to be dependable on the fourth line either. You have better options, cheaper options. We've talked about other options on the fourth line before. Currently, they have two players who are making way too much money to be on the fourth line, Burakovsky and Zetterlund. The fourth line is meant for the minimum contracts, minimum to like $2 million. You can't have a $4 million and a 5.5. You're spending almost $10 million with two players on your fourth line wing spots. Not even the center. The center is making 1.5, but the two wingers are making almost 10 million combined. That just can't happen. If Zetterlund gets off to a slow start and proves again that he isn't able to adapt to this play style that Travis Green is trying to create, a forecheck first type of offense, you have to explore trading him. I don't know how high his value really would be considering that contract, but you have to explore it. Even if you're just trading for prospects, at this point, I don't think it's that big of a deal. They have other players who can do the same job that he does on the fourth line, potentially even better, honestly. So it'll be very interesting to see how Zetterlund plays this upcoming season, especially training camp. I think training camp will be huge in the preseason games to see, get him some first line minutes with Stützle and Eklund and see if they're really able to mesh, and hopefully that can translate into the season because they still need that top six scoring threat, that guy who can be scary. I don't know if Zetterlund's exactly the top end scoring threat that we'd expect, but he is capable of scoring 24 goals, and that would definitely help their 5-on-5 offense, an area of their game that has struggled over the past couple of years, just getting big 5-on-5 goals. So we'll see. I hope Zetterlund can take a jump this year, and obviously the addition to Eklund, everyone thinks that it could be a big positive for him, but we will have to see. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. Do you think this year will be the year for Eklund to finally break out as a Senator with one of his closest friends, Eklund, in the lineup? But if he doesn't end up performing, what do we do with Zetterlund? Again, let me know down in the comments. And also, give me some video suggestions to do over the next few weeks of the off-season before we get into training camp in just under a month, I believe. Very exciting stuff. And one last reminder, please go down and hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel out a lot and allows you to stay updated with Senators Digest content. That is all I have for you today. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys all next time.